has been on a test drive. This is Saturday, December the 2nd. Saturday, December the 2nd, 2023. It's about 10 o'clock a.m., roughly 10 o'clock a.m., give or take a few minutes. So you took this on a test drive? What's
I want to grab that baffle and pin it down at the bottom, like I said. And guess what? It's stuck back there in the back because I want to get it. So now it's hiding from me. So I try to break it loose. Yeah, one black hair just sticking up. Yeah, so now it wants to hide from me. So nowhere to be found. Most of the times it's banging, bang, 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 tearing everything up in its path. But when I want to get it, you know, I'm sure there's other baffles in there. There's probably another baffle somewhere around in here. Somewhere, there's probably a couple of them. And it's right now it's stuck behind one of them other baffles. Yeah, I can't get it. I can't build anything and pin it in there if it doesn't come forward. So that means I can't put that float in. Because I'm not gonna put a $100 float in there and have that baffle. Yeah, there's nowhere to be found. Usually it's crashing around. I couldn't get it to make any noise at all, so it's stuck back there somewhere. It's probably got 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Let me fill it up and get out on the road and just start floating around again. But right now I can't do nothing about it. So I tried.
so? For those of you, the people that are not keeping up to date,
For those of you who don't have a clue what I'm talking about,
that's right. People who are just maybe watching this video.
there is a baffle. There are baffles inside this tank to keep the fuel under control when you're going forward and going or stopping. You don't have all the fuel just all of a sudden going down to the end of the tank and busting into the tank out and all your fuel going on the ground. So it kind of controls the fuel. Plus it, you know, pushes, there's 300 gallons, that's a lot of fuel. 300 times 7, that's 2,100 pounds of fuel bouncing around. And so they put baffles inside the tank, ladies and gentlemen. And one of them broke loose. And one of them is a full circle, and it's about this big. And it's got a hole about that big, and one's on either side of it. Anyway, so as long as I've had this truck, the fuel gauge would be crazy, and I finally found out what it was. That baffle was bending it, and so I'd push it down and I'd stop and it'd be pushed back up. And I'm like, how in the world does that happen? And that's when I discovered I had a baffle going crazy in there. And Well, I finally got an opportunity to do something about it, but now that I have the opportunity to do something about it, it's hiding back there behind one of them other baffles. So what I was going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is going to put a bar down inside this tank here, and right at the bottom of the lip of this entrance, and have a hole and a nut on either side of that hole, and I'd put a all thread down it, and then pin that darn baffle to the bottom of the tank so it won't move around. Well, I can't do that if I can't get a hold of it. So
that means it's
stuck.
stuck.
I wanted to do that because I wanted to have my fuel tank working, fuel gauge working. This is either I think this is the third one that I bought. That's how, and they were $37, but because of inflation, it's now $100.
So that's a fuel you bought. You went out this morning and bought.
Yeah,
it.
so there's one of these floating around in there, and there's like 4 or 5 floats floating around in there, and a rubber ducky floating around.
That's right. We have a rubber ducky in there too.
And why you're saying, why is a rubber ducky in my tank, in my fuel tank? Well, one time the float got knocked out, and there's like 3 or 4 floats floating around in there. Ooh, just floating around, but you can't ever get them. You can try to get them. See, they're little floats like this. And so I pulled this out one day, and this float was out of here. And I was like, well, I don't know if I got anything that will fit in there that's watertight. And I went in AJ's room, and I found a little rubber ducky, and its neck was the same diameter as this, and I squeezed it up in there, and it worked, but the baffle got a hold of it, and boom, knocked that rubber ducky out of there, and now there's a red rubber ducky floating around in there along with 2 or 3 of these, and now there's a whole unit like this floating around in there, and there's this here material right here, this soldering material. It's like a type of wood, but I think it's more fiberglass. That's running around in there too. I've seen it. So. And I've noticed when I've changed my fuel gauge or fuel filter that I get little bits and pieces of plastic showing up here and there, so that's not good either.
So how much did that price of that went up from 35 to?
It was $35 or $37 last time I bought it, like a year and a half ago, and I carried around one for a long time. The old one. I carried the one with had the rubber ducky in it. I carried it around in the back for a long time, but I threw chains on it so many times that I tore it up, so I ended up throwing it away.
So now it's almost $100.
Yeah, so it went up. But I can't put it in because I can't get a hold of the baffle where I do my idea. Basically, this right here would probably work too. So, just run the all thread through there, have a nut on either side welded to it, but this won't work because I can't weld the aluminum. But I was going to use a this thing right here, drill a hole through it, and then run the all thread through that. And this I can put this down in the tank and kind of tie something around it so I won't drop it to the bottom of the tank, but get that and hold it up to the bottom of that mouth of that tank, and then run the all thread, which is this. Run the all thread down through it until it catches that baffle, and then just pin it, get it really tight, and then pin it down to the bottom of the tank where that baffle can't move, and then lock her down.
But now it's hiding from you.
Yeah, but now when I went to do something about it, I can't get it because it's stuck somewhere else.
So would you say that this baffle issue is quite baffling?
Well, it's been like that ever since I've had the truck.
Did you hear what I did there? It's baffling.
Oh, it's baffling.
Yes, I made a pun.
Yeah, you're kicking my wrenches underneath the motorcycle too.
So, because you know the word baffle means confusing.
So I tried to glue this thing down, and anyway, it didn't work.
What is it?
It's a decal that came from when the truck was originally sold. It was sold for one of these places. So
And
it was
you-
sold near here, actually. Originally brand new.
23 years ago.
But anyway,
So that's you
it
can't.
didn't want to stick on there, and so I just tore it off. I'm not putting it back on there. And so somebody had gouged it all up like they were a maniac, because it's been off before. You see all those gouges?
Mm.
And so I just cleaned it up. I'll live with it like that.
Well, do you need to keep that for any reason at all? Do you need to
No,
keep?
there's one on the other side of the truck.
Oh, there's just a duplicate on the other side of the truck.
Yeah, if I hadn't already put this over here, I would have put it right there.
Well, you could put it next to it, can't you?
Oh, yeah, why didn't I just put 5 of them there? So, hey, what's this? Big belly, big belly, big belly, big belly. They're trying to tell me something?
No, I meant you could put that decal next to this one. That's what I meant.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, I'm quite baffled. Are you quite baffled?
A little irritated, but nothing I can do about it. I guess I'll just go in the house and eat breakfast.
Are you liking your new coveralls?
So,
They
you
fit.
ask why I do this? So when I put the new alternator on my AP unit, I guess there was a sensor in there that's called a battery monitor sensor. And it won't work anymore with this current alternator, so I keep it plugged in so I don't run down the battery. Not only that, my neighbors get kind of irritated when my APU's running at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, I live in the country. I still have sensitive neighbors, so yeah, no sense having my neighbors all mad at me.
Well, you're looking nice in your coveralls.
Oh, let's see that you're wearing Dad's jacket.
Yeah, I have your dad's
You
jacket
don't
on.
even know how to wear it. Collar's all turned in, upside down.
Well, I just put it on and ran outside to start filming. But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and pin that down. But I can't do it if it's not there, so.
And then once you get back on the road, it's going to start doing the thing
As
again.
soon as I decide, well, as soon as I don't have no more time left, and it's time to go, it'll come floating up. Bing, bing, here I am.
That's the way it always happens, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess I can make it. Go ahead and make it. And just take it and put it in the back of the truck. Yeah. Take it with me.
Oh, could you do that? Could you make it and take it?
I could, I guess. But the way it works, I'd be in a hurry and end up dropping it down in the tank. So.
And then it would just be ruined. Well, all right, Stephen. Why don't you come in and warm up and get something nice and hot for your belly?
You're probably
AJ,
wondering what I was doing. I'd go down the road and slam on the brakes. I'd take off, slam on the brakes. Because usually you can hear that thing going crash, boom, boom, beating on the inside of that tank. Can't do it now.
we even made a video about the rubber ducky.
Yeah, I see some pieces of stuff floating around in there. That's one of the reasons why I don't let my fuel get low. See that? See a little white?
Oh, I do see like something white in there floating in the
That's
field.
plastic from that last. One of these days, that's gonna get stuck in my fuel lines. That ain't gonna be cool.
So how are you gonna prevent that? How do you?
I don't run my tank down lower than a half a tank because I know those are in there. What I need to do is I need to take that pump. I got a hand pump. See that big pump in there? It's made for 55-gallon barrels. I can pump all that out. Pump it out. Well, I need a new tank, but I probably spent right at $30,000 on that truck this year, and I'm broke, and I'm borrowing money to keep my maintenance up right now, so I don't have enough money to go buy a new fuel tank.
How much is a new fuel tank?
$1,000.
Oh wow.
Everything's $1,000 on that. Clutch, $1,000. Starter, $1,000. Air compressor, $1,100. Blinker, $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get some seat belts fixed.
Freight rates, penny.
Yeah, there you go. Everything's $1,000 except for the freight rates.
Yeah.
And what were you
I
gonna?
tried to book a load yesterday morning. It had 4,200 miles on it, and I wanted 8,300, which is just barely over $2 a mile. And the guy's like, no, I can't do that. No, I gotta keep all the money. You truck drivers gotta make me rich. And I said, well, okay, I guess it won't work, man. So it is what it is, what it is, what it is. So whatever you do, ladies and gentlemen, don't get stuck in a jam like me. Get a good job that pays really well. Have a wonderful day. God bless. And later.